What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to Thursdays. As always, it is AOTH Podcast, Friends of the Heart live on Thursday. It's 8 o'clock. I'm your boy GQ. And as always, the gang is all here, back in full effect. We've got So Debonair and Easy Said, Easy Done is in the room. Easy, how many wardrobe changes did you just
You should have seen the one that I just did before you brought me on.
I was like, wait a minute, you didn't have that on just a few minutes ago. What the hell is going on?
Not. You know something. I'm a naturally clumsy person, so
you gotta have everything together. You gotta make sure everything is where it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. And I always have a backup nearby, just in case.
It's Thursday. It's 8 o'clock. Y'all already know what the dealio is. Welcome to the Affairs of the Heart Podcast Live. We are here as Black queer men to talk about love, sex, and relationships from a Black queer male perspective.
Wait, y'all gay?
The last time I checked, yeah. I haven't checked my meter in a while. We got to check and see, make sure it's still good.
Okay. Yeah. Now you checking it like Pepco.
Yeah, like you check your oil. You got to check your gay meter, make sure it's still there. If you're following us or watching us on Facebook, you threw me off, E. If you're watching us on Facebook, make sure you read the description and click the link on the Facebook description to give StreamYard your permission to share your likeness and your comments. Otherwise, you will come up as Facebook user. And we don't know who you are, and we like to hear from you. We like to hear from our users. We like to hear from our listeners. We want to know what you guys are thinking and your thoughts on the topics. You can also join us live in the conversation. Just type the link in your browser, put your good lipstick on, turn your lights on, brush your hair, brush your teeth.
Put your hair on.
Hide your kids, hide your wife, and let us know what you think about the topics that we'll discuss tonight. Again, it's love, sex, and relationships from a Black queer male perspective. And the gang is all here. It's Thursday night. This is what we do. So how y'all doing? Y'all all right?
Blessed and highly favored.
Flavored and highly blessed. So Devin is here because he is exhausted.
I'm exhausted. I think I need to get some Benadryl or something and just start taking it at nighttime.
Are you feeling ill? What's going on?
No, but Benadryl puts me to sleep though, and I need to go to sleep at night and not during the day.
So
I sleep all day long and I'm up all night. Like that's been going on for probably like the last 2 weeks. So I don't know.
Melatonin.
I have melatonin. I had sleepy time tea. None of that is working for me.
Maybe good digging.
Maybe.
So it's been
a while. So
if you're listening, So Debonair needs someone to put him to bed, is what he said.
And just like that, the show has shifted into a different direction. Just like that.
Just like that. It's so easy to do.
Yeah.
We just, you getting dates, So Debonair is getting dick. That just is what it is. All right.
It was the smack of the lip chat for me. Like it was the smack of the lip, and then you heard the cat close too. So why was such force?
It's just my lips were dry, and I can't. Okay, real talk. Like when we're on here, our lips get dry really quick because we're talking. It's hot. These lights are bright. And I'm like, where's my lip chat? I can't deal with this. I can't. And we're drinking, I can't deal with it.
They remind me now to make sure I have mine because I had to leave that one time and go get it. They're like, make sure you got your lip chat.
Listen, because it is tragic. So Debonair will be like, I'm like, where'd he go? I had to go get my lip chat. What ridiculous. So crazy. What's up, everybody? If you're in the chat, if you're watching, leave a comment. Let us know you're here. Say what's up. Hey, what's going on? We want to know that you're here. We want to hear your thoughts. If you have a topic for us to talk about, put that in the chat too. If you want to come on and bring up a topic that you want to talk about, bring that in too. We want to hear all that you want to tell us, and we want to give you our unbiased opinions.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, All right. So, anything that we want to talk about prelim before we get into the topics for tonight? Anything going on? Any dates? Any going on? No.
I like to share that kind of stuff, but every time I share it on the podcast, it goes downhill the week after that. So I just like to keep it to myself at this point. And if it gets to a point where I can share it, then I'll share it.
You know what that is? That's growth. So that means the situation now. Let me tell y'all how this is gonna go. So he's not telling us about it now, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, it'll be a whole topic catered to the situation. And I'm just saying this because it happened to me, and I know that's what happened, and this is what's going on because I know because that's how it is because it happened to me. I'd be like.
But you know what I'm learning though, like I really be having meltdowns, like for real, like on the podcast and in real life, like I really have meltdowns all the time.
Yes, you do.
And to me, the reason why is because like communication is just so important to me, and if there's not a consistent communication factor going on, and it irks my nerves, like, and it's something like for me, it's like. The more I hold it in, the more explosive that it gets when it actually comes out. So I'm learning to try to like not do that, but it's been a struggle for me. I mean, it's been a struggle,
Everybody,
but I'm honest about it though.
You are, and that's what makes the difference. Listen, if you can't talk to your brothers and your friends about your situation, who else can you talk to? If we can't go to Bellanoche, where the hell else can we go?
Church.
Where else can we go? This is what this platform is for. You want to air out your situations. Now, let me tell you, we get annoyed because you go in, but it's what it's for.
But and also the other, I think at first it was like, damn, why did I do that? But then after the podcast goes off, people will inbox me and be like, try this, and this. So. And I think the main reason why I even wanted to do the podcast originally was because I do be needing some help sometimes about things that I be going through when it comes to this, because again, I don't really know how to do it. So I'm doing it the best way I know how,
And that's all you can do, because we all doing it the best way we know how. We just not telling everybody.
Yeah.
That part.
Oh,
H2
Lord.
is in the building. What's up, Lamar? H2, the other half of the Hickson Hamilton is in the house. What's going on, friend? So absolutely, we are all just getting by to get by.
And he knows too, because I done called him about some stuff.
Listen. One thing I think, we're going to talk about Lamar since he's here. The one thing I think is interesting about Lamar is that he has so many connections with so many people that you would never know. You would never know who he's connected to, who he talks to, who he confides in, who confides in him, etc.
That's how it's supposed to be.
And that's how it's supposed to be. You have a friend in Lamar if you need to. Walking from the friendly skies, flying over. See, that's what he does. So we're glad to have you here, Lamar, and everybody else that is joining us tonight. I try to prolong our intros because we do have a lot of CP time people that come in a little bit later. So I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. No? Okay. All right. So let's get into it.
Well, the crazy part is that people will say, well, why didn't you remind me? I'm like, well, how can I why would you I can't turn on the notifications? You know what I'm saying?
Every week.
Yes, every week at the same time. And we've been doing this for about just 2 years now, 1 year and a half, something like that. Mm-hmm. It's going on for a while now, and I'm just like, I cannot inbox everyone to remind you. But I mean, luckily they do go back and watch the replay. So
fair enough.
What's going on, CJ?
What's going on, CJ? All right, so make sure that's a great segue into making sure you turn on the notifications to let everybody know or let you know when we're live on Thursdays at 8 o'clock, same time, same place, every day. Meet is in the bill. I call him Meet by the way.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
We ain't seen him in a while.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey,
I mean, God.
For everybody that does not know, Meech is Easy Say Easy Done's best friend. I call him Meet. That's just my little friend name for him.
I legit feel like he is like, I feel like he's here watching me.
Of course. You got something to say?
I feel the pressure. Like,
now that you know he's here. See? Now you got hot. Uh-huh.
He don't let nothing slip.
But he gonna be all in the comments, and I'm ready for every little bit of it. All right, let's go to our first relationship dating topic for the night. This is your warning, Easy. There you go. Let's go to our first topic for the night, gentlemen. We start out with relationship topics. If you are new to this, we got some friends and fans that are true to this. But if you're new, we start with relationship topics, and then we go into our heartbeat letters. If you're a fan of the show, or you want to have an anonymous, or if you want us to know your name, you can send a letter in about something you want us to talk about on the show. We'll gladly discuss it. Our thoughts are not those of YouTube. So if you don't think that it's for you, then it's not for you. But we'll give our opinion.
And sometimes the thoughts of them is not the thoughts of me. I learned that last week.
So
you need to switch that around. You need to switch that wording around.
Now he would have figured himself out.
Yeah. He definitely made it seem like it was us.
Y'all made me. I'm the one. And then you know what's the sad part about it? The fans be back in his inbox be like, "You was right. I was with you. D don't know what he talking about. Easy don't know what he talking about. It was you. It was so debonair. You was right. You was on it. They just did it. I'll be like,
y'all can both drive off the cliff together.
Thelma and Louise.
Yes.
No, they got on me on YouTube this last week though.
Last week was on you. Okay, see that's the thing. And here's the other thing: we got a group chat where he don't send that stuff. He send stuff like, "Oh, this is what they said about this," but he don't send the ones when y'all be getting on him.
At all.
Actually, I inboxed Easy this week. I did.
Oh.
And you know what? I did not. I had to check those messages because honestly, I didn't know you sent me all that stuff, and I only looked in there when I went to go get the link to come on here, and I was like, "Oh, he got other stuff in here." Oops. But I got caught up.
No, because they was like, what's going on between Easy and So Debonair? And I'm like, nothing's going on between us. They're like, are y'all okay? I'm like, we're fine. Like, what's going on? I'm like, did I?
Oh, that's what this is about?
Yeah.
Let's be very clear. We may agree to disagree on the show, but we still are friends. We still are close. We still, we still respect each other's opinions, whether we like it or not. So yeah, there's never any beef. We don't really fight like that, except that first show where I had to mute So Debonair, and we're not talking about that. We're just talking about something.
Was that just one show?
That was just one show out of 2 years. We're not, yeah, there's just one show. It happened. Charlemagne always doesn't get all the love. People hate him too. It's fine. Let's go to the first topic for the night. All right. Do you believe in the 3x rule? After the third time of having sex, feelings begin to get involved. Do you believe in the 3x rule, 3x rule? After the third time of having sex with someone, feelings automatically get involved.
No.
Oh.
That doesn't apply to everybody.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on if I'm like dating the person versus like this is like my friends with benefits or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think it applies to everybody.
Yeah, like if time has been spent, prior to this, and then we start having sex, probably after the third time, I probably am starting to like jump off the ledge.
Oh, at least get in the car and drive to the edge. You already jumping off? Like, damn.
Listen, I'll be ready to jump off the ledge before the sex happens. So,
You know what? From your stories, yes, I do believe that.
Yeah.
That wasn't shade.
No, that's serious. I mean, that's real though. I probably do. I mean, I think like for me, what is it? What I think you call it like a sapiosexual, like the
sapio is the brain. You're more in attracted to the mind, the mental, the mentality.
Yeah, I think like that to me is like a lot. So like adding sex to that is like a lot for me. So after the third time, yes, I'm probably ready to just to throw it all away. Like let's do it, you know. And I'll probably that's probably one of my problems. So
that growth. That's
got growth going on over here.
listen. You are dropping some gems tonight. So what is happening?
I really want to share something, but I'm like, I don't want to share it because I don't want to have to come back next week and be like, this is what I'm talking about.
Because you did just give a PSA like 10 minutes ago. It already is.
So just hold it. Just hold it. You can hold it. You can do it. I believe in you, friend. You can really do it. I think I agree with both of you. I don't think that that's a golden rule. Like, I don't think it actually happens automatically. Mm-hmm. If you are, I think so Debonair made a good point, you know, like if he's feeling somebody, you know, on a mental level or the you know, sapiosexual mental capacity, then that coupled with the sex could have the possibility of being, you know, making the feelings evolve even more. You know, because if you're already like, let's just be honest, if you're dating somebody or not even dating, you went on the first date or y'all are just fuck buddies or whatever the case is, and they're fulfilling you sexually, they're fulfilling you mentally, they have great personality, you know, you can take them out, you can bring them around people, they don't act crazy, you know, all of that combined after the third time of having sex with all of that on top of it, it's kind of like maybe, you know,
because the people around you will put that thought in your head, especially if you bring it around. That's when your best friend be like, "What's going on with you two?"
Right.
That's why I stopped doing that.
They'd be like, "It's nothing," but then in the back of your mind, it's like, "Wait, is it something?" Wait.
Yeah, and if you've already been thinking about it, and your best friend or your close friends have already put that in they added to it now. It's like, oh, well.
Then you start thinking about then the next sexual experience is just like, what is?
See. It's possible. I'm not going to say
possible. It can get there.
It's possible.
I just like, you just can't change your patterns with me. Like, you know, if we're talking all the time and then we start having sex and then like after that, you know, we've been doing this for a while and then that stuff starts to slow down. Like in my mind, I am like melting down on the inside because it's like, what happened? Do I need to abort this mission? Like, you know, it's like so much goes on for me. And I'm like, I probably could just have a conversation, but already I'm thinking a lot about what's going on here instead of just having a conversation.
So then I think that kind of segues into another question. Like, how do you handle that? So, okay, if we take it a step further, it's the third time, the feelings have grown, they've evolved. How do you move about? Do you share them? Do you not share them? Do you complicate things? Do you not complicate things? Like how do you handle that?
I think that's the fear of it all for me. It's actually saying something and then it's really like, you know, things aren't going the way that I thought they were going, or, you know, they're declining from the relationship or the time being spent or whatever. And sometimes, you know, I guess in the beginning, like you do go through that little honeymoon phase or whatever, but then, you know, life still goes on. You still got to go to work and, you know, I'm exhausting myself doing different type of things. And I guess these are things that I've been really just thinking about recently because it's like, you know, I'm like I said, I'm really trying this time around. So I'm like, you know, I can't. I'm working on not jumping off the cliff. I'm working on saying, hey, just because things have changed does not mean that it's a wrap or the person is not being interested anymore. Life is still happening. Like they still got to go to work. They can't spend all night on the phone with you, all stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning. I'm learning these things.
I think Easy has a question.
what is the conversation looking like, or is there a conversation being had before you even get to the third time?
About what exactly? The feelings?
About the relationship. Like, is this a relationship? Is this a situationship? Are we just fucking, like, so that you have some type of clarity? Because I still, like, in my mind, I'm thinking like sex just 3 times seems like a lot for you to be just maybe jumping off the edge. But is there a conversation that's being had between the two of you? And that goes out to anybody, but like, is there a conversation that's being had so that you kind of know where this is even going? So maybe after the first or second time, like, what are we doing here? Is this going to be a regular thing? Are we going to move towards a relationship, a situationship? Like, are we even having those conversations to prepare ourselves for down the line? So if we do catch feelings, it's like, you know what, I need to settle back because we just had a conversation last week, and we're just going to keep this just sexual.
For me,
how are we setting ourselves up?
For me, when it comes to dating, like I don't involve sex in that beginning stage for me, especially with someone that I like. Like I just don't involve sex in it because already, if I'm feeling a certain type of way, automatically, I already know how I'm going to be. So I automatically like take the sex out of it for me because it's going to cloud my judgment. Then I'm gonna be really wanting to melt down on the podcast at home. I'm be calling you too much. Like I'm gonna have a meltdown. So I don't involve it. So by the time that we have sex, there is an established what we're doing at this point. So by the third time, the communication has been good. We've already established that we're working on a relationship. And so by that time, to me, it's almost like it's a solidified thing for me, and that's probably why I get where I'm at that point, because it's like, well, we've probably been talking for like a month or two, maybe 3. And now we have started having sex and all this has been good. And then if something just slightly changes after that, then it bothers me. So
I think let's give it a scenario so that we can kind of understand, because there are so many other variables that can kind of.
So many are going through my mind.
There's so many variables in the situation. So, okay, you meet somebody and y'all are just fuck buddies. Y'all are just FBs. That's it. Y'all, you hook up once. It was good. Hey, come through. Hook up again. It was good. You haven't had the dating phase in between, beforehand. Y'all didn't go out to dinner or anything like that. Y'all just hooked up. By the third time, if the vibe is good and the energy is good, the sex is good, then do you have the conversation of feelings being involved?
For me, it would be depending on what happens in between those 3 times that we've had sex. Most of the time, people that I'm like are my fuck buddies. We can have sex 10 times. I'm not going to get involved in that. Like, it's just not for me. But if we're having sex and it's good and we start, having conversations about maybe dating or something like that, I probably would still withdraw from sex at that point, because I would really need to kind of like take my head out of the cloud for a minute and find out if this is going to be legitimate for me to do.
Easy.
Oh, sorry. The cord from my laptop brushed up against my leg, and I felt like something was crawling on me.
He was about to be like, "Hold on, guys.
Listen, no.
I don't do no type of bugs. No, I don't know. Like, I'm with Dwayne. Like, there's so many variables of where you can go with this. Like, if you have the conversations, if you don't have the conversations, or what if he says, like, I'm not even looking for a relationship. I'm not looking for that togetherness that you may be wanting, but I just want to fuck. Like, he's honest about what he wants, which is true, which is what we want them to be. We want you to be honest, so we don't get hurt. But if you still end up catching feelings, what are those conversations then like? What are you like? How are they? How do you suppress, or how do you open up about that?
But I think you have to have kind of boundaries with stuff like that, because and this happens to me a lot. It's like, when if my mind is set on this is just sex, my mind, I don't go outside of that bracket for me. So once that's established, that's what it is. But then what happens is then they want to start spending the night, and I'll give you guys a good example. One time, a guy came over here, and he was like, "I just moved to Atlanta. You know, I want to watch movies, and you know, whatever happens, happens. Fine, whatever. Come on." The nigga stayed over for like 3 days, and like I was like, "This doesn't seem like just a sex thing to me." You know what I mean? So it starts to feel like he's interested, but at this point in my mind, I'm still like, I'm not in that kind of space. Go ahead.
You
3 days.
You let us.
I mean, he left and went to work and came back, but I mean, he was like coming back every day.
Did y'all have conversations about him coming back?
I mean, he would call, but like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing." He's like, "What?" I mean, you mind if I come back? I'm like, "No, I don't mind." But I think that the time that he kept coming over was like longer and longer. And like we hadn't really we were like having a good time. Like we were watching movies, we were like playing games, we were having sex, but it was almost like a friends with benefit situation. Like we were just having a good time. And I realized towards the end of it, like he was kind of catching feelings, but I'm like, at some point, maybe you should say that because I'm starting to feel like that. And with that person, I wasn't really into him to the point for a relationship. And so I had to tell him that, you know what I'm saying? Because this is not what I wanted to do at that time. I was not even ready for a relationship.
I think you bring up a good point about that too. Like sometimes situations happen in real time.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for example, the young man might not have felt like he was catching feelings, but he just really liked the vibe that the both of you had and wanted it to continue.
And he was here by himself, just moved here.
And he just moved here. So then he didn't even realize that it was going as far as it was. You know, for him, it was just kind of like, I found a friend that I can do everything with and it's cool. To you, it was like, what are we doing? Like,
well, we had that, but we also had that conversation too. He was like, you know, I'm starting to feel you and this and this. And my thing is, you know, when you first moved to Atlanta, I'm not dating you because you have not experienced Atlanta. And I'm not about to sit here. Not been ran through, but you haven't experienced Atlanta yet. Like you haven't. I mean, there's probably plenty of guys you want to do this with, and I just don't want to be the guy that you first moved in here with. Because I've seen it happen. My friends move here all the time, and they get in relationships real quick, and then all of a sudden, one of my friends had a relationship with a dude. He got on his phone, found out he was on Jack, asking to choke on people's dicks that lived around the block from him, and it was like everybody in the vicinity. So it was those kind of things that make me worried about that kind of stuff. I don't want a person just moving to Atlanta for that. Now, if you move to Atlanta because we were long distance dating, that's different for me because there's an intent for us to be together. But if you just moved here and because you needed a new place or you wanted to start over, I'm definitely not the person you want to start off with because I'm not getting into that.
I have a public service announcement before we continue. This is for everyone abroad. Atlanta is full. Please do not come here. We do not have any more space for you and the likes of the things that you want to bring to Atlanta. So just want to put that out there for those that want to try to come.
It seems like the more that you say that, the more people want to move here.
They want to move here. And not to, I mean, Easy just said people get ran through. So I just, okay.
What's the next topic?
Let's go to some of the comments because the comments as well. A lot of people are saying no to the answer that it does not happen on the third time. You know, it's not true. Meech says depends on the guy. Joseph says sometimes sex is just sex for some people, and some people can't separate their feelings from sex. That's just not how some people are built.
How hard they try.
Yeah, some people are not built that way. Sometimes it'll be the first or not at all. Like the first time having sex or not at all. You just don't have the feelings at all.
Got a little stigmatized.
That part. If it's a buddy, probably no. You know, a lot of people have a lot to say about it. What was said says, I believe in this. We have sex after feelings get involved, period.
I think he was talking about what I was. I think he was talking about what I was saying. I think he's talking about what I was saying.
Oh, okay. We have sex after feelings get involved.
I was saying if I'm dating someone, like I kind of hold off on the sex until afterwards, and then we
got
doing
you.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that makes sense. Absolutely. I think that's a wise thing to have. I think you've grown. We've done this a long time, so debonair, and I think in the conversations that we have had, that was. I remember the.
It's that spider.
What happened? We've been doing this a long time, and I remember the podcast that you. Easy, what happened?
Okay. I was such a little old lady. I realized that my blinds were still open. And I'm like, ooh. I'm such my grandmama's child. Like, it's dark. Why are the blinds still open? What is going on?
They can see in here.
All up in my place.
I can't. But I remember, so debonair, on one of our podcasts where you said that you've come to the realization that you should withhold having sex with someone prior to getting to know them because that clouds your judgments. That was a big moment for you. It was a big moment.
And I don't think I really operated in that even after I said that at that time. But
I was about to ask that. I'm like,
But I mean, I think now I'm really working on that. Like, I'm really trying to do that because I do feel like, well, I do know that it becomes a lot for me, especially if I'm emotionally invested. It becomes a lot for me, and a lot of times, like I don't know if we've ever even had this conversation about love at first sight or anything like that. But I feel like I'm like a classic case of that. Like, if I see someone that I like and they're giving me the vibe that I need, like I'm kind of already there.
That's
so no, because lust means I'm like lusting after you, like sexually I want you, but it's not even this. It's not that. It's really just the kind of connection that we have. So like, I'll give you guys a really, really good example. There's a guy I met on Twitter. He loves girlfriends, right? We're not dating or anything like this, but he loves girlfriends. He loves girlfriends as much as I love it. And so it's something like, I'm glad he doesn't live here in Atlanta, because I would be like, it's a wrap for me right now. Like, literally, like we can go through the episodes. We actually had did like, there's an app on your phone where you can watch it together. We comment on everything. Like, it's really dope. So like something like that for me, like after time goes on and we're kind of connecting on that, and then sex get involved, baby, I'm gonna be like, okay, we watch girlfriends. It's gonna wear me out. Like, I'm gonna start getting concerned. So I feel like I'm learning these things because, one, I don't want to keep failing when it comes to this dating shit. Like, I've like I said, I've been trying it for a while, and something has to start working at some point. So,
yeah,
I understand.
I can definitely understand that. LaBelle is in the house. What's up, LaBelle?
What up?
What's going on, love? What was said? Said not choke on the D's around the corner.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think that's growth. Again, that's going to be the topic for this episode. Growth. You know what you call that? You call that growth. So I think we've done justice on this topic, gentlemen. Yes?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes, I think so.
All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, it's real long.
That's what he said.
If you ever met for a hookup and the person wants to talk and talk and talk, and all you're thinking is, I hope we hurry up and start before I'm not interested anymore. Have you ever met for a hookup and the person, they just want to sit and talk? I just want to talk. Let's talk. Y'all, it's that awkward moment before you get to doing what you came to do. And y'all are talking, and all they're doing is talking. And are you thinking, let me hurry up? But I hope we hurry up and start before I lose interest. Has that ever happened to you, gentlemen?
Yes.
Was this your question? Did you come up with this question?
I feel
No.
I saw this question somewhere on social media this week.
It was on social media somewhere. I found on social media. This has definitely happened to me. Actually, I've had a really scary situation with this. And then I just had some really irritating moments with this. But and I think I was on Clubhouse when I talked about this. There was a guy, I think I may have told this on the podcast before too. There was a guy after me and my ex-girlfriend broke up. And I think it was like maybe a month or two later. and I think I met him on like BGC or something like that. We didn't have apps back then. I was in college, but so we met on there, and we decided to have sex or whatever. So he came to my dorm room, and I was like, we're just, we can do it in the house, whatever. And he was like, no, you don't want to do it outside in the park. And so I was like, I don't understand that, I have my own place, whatever. There's nobody in the house. Nobody's going to see you or whatever. And I didn't realize why, but I'll tell you guys why at the end. So I ended up getting to the car with him, and we started talking. It was like, the conversation would not end. And while we were talking, he was trying to find somewhere like a park to go to, but he ended up driving down a bike pathway. And so as soon, literally, like the cops must have been sitting right by the bikeway. The cops turned the lights on as soon as he pulled up onto the bike thing. And so they put him over there, like, what are you guys doing? He was like, oh, I thought this was the entrance to the park. They were like, the park's closed. Like, why are you going to the park? He was like, oh, I didn't know the park's closed. I'm not from here, which he wasn't from there. And so he was like really, really scared. So I realized he was getting even more nervous. So we ended up going back to my place anyway. And he parked out of the way of my one of my friends' dorm that was around the corner from mine. So we ended up having sex, and after that, he was like, because we kept saying we knew each other from somewhere, we didn't know where. And so after that, he was like, oh God, I didn't know how I know you. Your ex-girlfriend's cousin is my roommate. And so after that, he immediately went into, we don't have to do this, God will forgive us and all these things. Like it was so crazy and weird. And I was like, I didn't know what to do or what to say or whatever. And so he ended up leaving. And like the reason why this is sad is because he ended up committing suicide like years later after that, because he was gay. He could not receive it at all. So I kind of knew that this is why it's scared by people who want to talk all the time. Even though we have like general conversations, it always reminds me of that. So when people start talking before we have sex, I just don't even do it. Because it always takes me back to that, because our conversation wasn't before that. It wasn't, about God or nothing like that. It was just, regular conversation. It was really a long conversation though. And I realized the reason why he was doing it because he was kind of conflicted about his sexuality.
Yeah, the reason I'm chuckling, first of all, because it's the first time Easy has heard this story. I've heard the story from our podcast before, but I'm chuckling because Easy's face is just like, I have nothing. I don't know what's happening. I mean, there's so many variables to that story. But I think you make a valid point, because if somebody is talking, obviously they're nervous. Somebody doesn't want to make the first move. And you don't know if they're talking to kind of get themselves, in, out, together, rationalizing why they're doing what they're doing. You never know what the conversation is rooted in. And it doesn't happen for everybody. Some people just need somebody to talk to. Now, granted, some people get upset about that because they're like, this is not what I came over here for. I came over here strictly for one thing, and you're in my time. And people think like that, so you kind of have to be careful or cautious. Does it happen? Like, do you? So Debonair said, now if somebody's just talking, you're like, nah, I'm not. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna head out.
Like if it lasts too long, it's like I'm done. Like I don't want to, because I just don't want anyone who is not comfortable with their sexuality to. Because I don't know, I'm gonna be, if you're gonna leave my house and do that, and that's not, everybody doesn't do that, but it's in my mind. It always sticks out in my mind.
Brings that. Now, I guess here's an interesting question in that aspect. How do you handle the initial, I guess, action? Like, you don't come in the door and go straight for it. Like, how do you handle that, like, middle ground of the, okay, well, is somebody gonna undress me, or are we gonna, like, what are we doing? Like, is it time? No. Okay, small talk. Okay, no. Like, how do you handle that space?
He's talking to you.
Why am I talking to him? That was a general question.
That only Aaron can answer.
Well, okay, so everybody that's watching, clearly, Easy Done just gets to the business as soon as he walks in the door. There's no pleasantries.
He said he doesn't do this at all. That's what he's saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I've never.
I got you.
I'm just gonna shut up and drink my water.
I mean, for me, it's already established what's going on. Like we've already had this conversation back and forth before you got here. So when you come into my house and we go to the room, we dropping these drawers, we getting started. Like there's no conversation that needs to be had. We already had the conversation. You done called me. I told you where to park at. You done walked to my room. I mean, we've already had the conversation that needed to be had. So why are we talking again? We can talk afterwards.
Okay. We can talk after. We're not talking before.
But don't talk to me about we don't got to do this and God, and because then I'm gonna start getting concerned again. Like I mean, like let me go ahead and call 911 right now before you leave here, because I do not want another incident like this again.
So dramatic.
It is. Luckily, no one's ever done that again. But I'm just saying, I mean, and a lot of. I'm gonna tell a really bad story. So one time, someone did
all the stories. You have all the stories.
One time, someone did, and we talked about this on the podcast before, so this is not nothing new. But one time, someone did come over here, and he ended up moving in the house with me. So
he stayed bringing this straight.
But
but
it was a real genuine connection.
This is why my grandmother said, "Don't ever feed no cats around your house, because once you feed one, they're gonna come back to that same spot every time you put a can out there looking for something to eat." See, no, that ain't happening. Let's go to some of the comments. Jay said yes, and I left. Period. He didn't even stick around to see if it was going to grow into something. He said, "I'm out." LaBelle, unrelated, LaBelle says she's planning and preparing for the future gigs and the Long Island Pride. So if you're in New York, check out LaBelle in the Long Island Pride. We want to support our sister in her endeavors. Jay says, such a turnoff when there's too much talking. See? Okay, I get it. Now, there's a lot of people speechless about your story. So they're
oh, that's about the guy who committed suicide. I'm gonna laugh about
yes,
that one.
they're speechless. What was said says that's never happened. By the time the hookup comes over, we are both ready. Ready. Honey, that never happens. Wow, so Debonair has the stories. Jeez, yeah. Now LaBelle brings a good point. I talk when I'm nervous because I'm not good with just jumping right in, or I want you to see I'm a little more than something to do.
But okay, let's stop here. Time out. Go ahead.
Now this ain't been my testimony, but from the testimonies that have been shared, I'm thinking if you two are communicating and y'all are already having the exchange of words and you already know what's supposed to be done, I feel like you should. If one is ready and one's not ready, then it's going to be off. The energies aren't going to match.
Right.
So if I'm calling you and you're supposed to come over here and break it down, and now you're sitting there talking about recipes or curtains or something, like I'm confused. Right. Like what's happening? Like what's going on? Right. And I can understand where Debonair is coming from with that situation. Well, I can't understand it, but I mean, I see what I see what you're going through with it. But like everyone's not the same. I feel like you shouldn't put if you're I'm trying to get my words together. I want to come off rude. I'm not trying to be so debonair last week. I'm not trying to do that. No.
You're not trying to say it's stupid.
No, it's not stupid. I'm just like, I wouldn't want no one's time to be wasted.
Yeah.
I think
we got a new announcement at the bottom of the screen.
That's not an announcement. That's not an announcement.
I think for me, think I am very uncomfortable with being the aggressor when it comes to situations. I've just always been that way. I've never been like, when it came to anybody coming in, you know, like I at least want to have some kind of
in that movie you was.
We're not gonna talk about the movie that was that was acting. I'm a good actor, you know. But I always have to at least, you know, hey, okay, you know, let's talk about something, you know, like, okay, cool. Oh, I like your curtains. Okay, great. And now we're ready. Okay, cool. You're like, I need that space in between. It's never like come in, I'm asked the door's open, the lights are off. Like that just never happens. It's never happened.
I feel like if you have in those moments, it's like what you saw on the apps or whatever, it's not what you saw when it walked in your door. Because to me, that's why I feel like we're having this moment, because otherwise, I mean, I've already seen your dick. We've already talked about what we want to do, and I'm ready to do what we already discussed. You know what we're going to do. Now, if you walk in my house and you look totally different, I may need to talk a little while to figure out whether or not I still really want to do this.
Why was I just about to ask that question? Because when you say we exchange news, I'm like, what if in my mind the first thing that came up was like, what if the news don't match?
Yeah, like, and that's happened before. And well, a lot of times it happens for me where it's like, and I said this too, where it looked big, but it's bigger than what it looked like in the pictures than it was in person. And I didn't realize what I had signed up for. So I do need to I gotta try to figure out if this is something I'm about to do for real.
That's real. I think that I would say that if the shoe was on the other foot, they say that about your ass too. They'd be like, "This thing is bigger than I actually signed up for. I didn't think that it was going to be."
I mean, if it's a small dick, probably, because they're like, "Is this?" I mean, you know, I don't know, but I've never, not with the sizes I've been having. No, I don't think so. But yeah, I'm just like, you know, I don't know if this is what I had signed up for.
Get out of my face, Dwayne.
Easy said. I love it. I can't. Oh,
I can't do this. I don't know why I signed up for this.
Thursdays are always the highlight of my week. I get it.
I was gonna say something. I totally forgot what I was gonna say though about this. It was something that Easy said though. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay, we'll come back to it. Last comment, LaBelle says, also, some guys send terrible signals. If you want to smash, say so. Everyone's not a mind reader either. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Another story. Here it is. New segment. So Debonair Stories. Let's go.
You should do your diary and start writing.
No, I'm just. I'll need to tell this story. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I can't. You sure?
I just think that if it's something that, like, if you have certain requirements, people have to meet those requirements before you come over. This is why I'm saying, like, I just don't think that you're coming over here and there's a talking phase.
See, I wasn't even gonna ask, but go ahead. You ask the question.
Because, like, when I'm on the apps, right, they're like, "Oh yeah, I want to fuck or whatever," and I'm like, "Well, do you eat ass?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Well, no, thank you. Period. It's not happening for me." And they're like, "Well, you know, no, don't try to even negotiate it because you don't like it." And I'm not trying to get like the bare minimum of this. No, and like they will keep on trying. So no, so yeah, that's why I'm like, before you come over here, like I'm getting all the 411 about what's going to happen before you get over here, so we don't have to have this random ass conversation. Easy.
When you do the exchange of the 411, do you tell them your needs and wants as well, like time requirements?
We're not having 3-hour sex. That's very much known. So yes, you know what you get before you get here.
I'm thinking if I was on an app and I was talking to someone and say just use an example and you were like, look, you got 15 minutes. All right, 15 minutes to do what?
But the thing I asked them, do you like foreplay? If they don't like foreplay, I'm probably not the person. They probably shouldn't come over here. Period.
All right, next topic then. Too.
All right, let's go to the next topic. Again, our topics this week are real lengthy.
This ain't wish.com over here. That's all I want to say.
Oh. Have you ever had to tell a partner or someone you were dating you did not like a gift they gave? How would you handle this? Have you ever had to tell a partner or someone you were dating that you did not like the gift that they gave you? How would you handle this? That's a tough one. Everybody's quiet.
All right.
Yeah.
No,
go ahead.
You go.
No, you go first.
I'm thinking. I haven't received a gift that I didn't like or didn't want, but I feel like I will hold on to it anyway without telling them. I wouldn't want to hurt anyone's feelings in that regard. Because in my mind, I'm thinking like they actually thought about me, or they thought that I would like this, or thought that I wanted this, or thought that I needed this. Yeah, I probably wouldn't say anything. I would just accept it, hold on to it for a little while, and then get re-gifted.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I may pass it off to Meech.
So, Meech, if you get a secondhand gift, you know why. Like a gift out of the blue, no reason, no holiday, no nothing. If Easy just gives you a gift, it's solely because somebody gave it to him, he didn't want it. No love behind it, and you'd be like, "Oh my God, thank you so much," and he'd be like, "Yeah." I kind of might be with you on that, E. I don't know that I could hurt, because again, gifts are odd, because at the end of the day, obviously you tell them that it's not something that you probably would have picked for yourself, but if they had the wherewithal to go out and buy something for you. Now, granted, when I saw this question, I thought, well, if we're dating or you're my partner, you know what I like and you know what I don't like to a degree. You should at least be like, oh, he's really gonna like that. Like, you already know. However, or at least you should already know. But if it's something that I'll be like, oh, thank you. I'm not going to shit on your parade. I mean, I just be like, it's not something I really care for, but I'm grateful. It's the thought that counts. You thought about me. You got me something. I'm grateful.
I'll share this story. It's not me personally, but I know a friend of mine, her and her husband, they actually, I guess in the beginning, had this situation, like they weren't giving each other good gifts. So they actually switched it around where, like, on her birthday, she buys herself something. On his birthday, like, literally, they'll buy each other their own gifts. And it's something that they weren't, and it seems to have worked. Like, those are the cute little things that you gotta do to keep your relationship going, I think.
I like
make it work for yourself.
Just give me the money. I'm gonna get what I want.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I like that.
Especially if you're in a relationship.
Yeah. So, Deminair, what do you think?
I don't think I've ever received something that I had to tell my partner I didn't like. But if I didn't like it, I probably would actually tell them, though, because I don't want you to continue to buy me bad gifts. So,
what if it's just a bad gift giver?
I would just be like, what your friends did. Just give me the money, because I don't want to keep wasting what you're giving me. I will, like with my ex, like he used to just take me out to dinner. I'm like, I don't want to go out. I hate going out to dinner. I like to cook at home. So like, which is something that we used to do, but I'm like, I hated that shit. I'm like, please stop taking me out to dinner. So, but I had to say that because it just kept on happening over and over and over again.
Why don't you like being taken out to dinner?
Because I go out to dinner every day. Any day I want to go out to dinner, like that's not special to me.
I think it's more so the time that you spend together. Wouldn't it, like getting dressed up together, going out together, like having a romantic dinner out and about on the town?
But if that's your only thing that you do, like no.
Oh, it can get tiring after a while. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
I don't really.
I just don't want to put you on a pattern and thinking that this is something that I like that I don't like. I'll give you guys a really good example too. And this is not a part of my aunt because she knows I love music. But people, and y'all are probably all going to hate this, but I'm not a really big fan of Michael Jackson. And she bought me a Michael Jackson CD for my birthday one year, and I was like, I'm gonna like put this up on a shelf because I'm never going to listen to this album. And I never did. It's still sitting in my mom's house and in the plastic and everything.
Wow.
You might be able to get some money for that now.
Maybe I don't even know.
In the plastic.
But I'm not a fan of Michael Jackson, so I'm like, I don't even know why she bought that for me because she's never saw me even listen to Michael Jackson.
Out of all the things you said on here, I think that statement right there bothers me the most.
I said you're probably not gonna like it. I think I said this on one of your posts before on Facebook.
I probably blocked it out of my mind. I probably deleted the whole damn post. Like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about?
Like blasphemy. It's terrible.
I'm almost for sure that you have posted something, and I was like, what is something black or something like one of those things that black people don't do that you
that'll take your black card.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not a big fan of Michael Jackson. I was a fan of Michael Jackson, Jackson 5, but you know, him as an adult, I just wasn't really a big fan of his. Like
you weren't even alive when he was a part of the Jackson 5.
But I still heard the music. I still heard the music.
I like how the way.
I mean, okay, I give you the music, but I was just like big fan of him when he was a part of Jackson 5.
But I wasn't fanning out of the when I heard the music. I wasn't fanning out for Jackson 5 either. But I still love that music more than I loved him as a artist as Michael Jackson,
like an individual artist. I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. Let's go to some of the comments.
But I guess so.
Lavelle just made it simple and plain. I told them I didn't like it. Period.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Joseph says, I was mad as hell first. Then I waited and had a conversation with my partner after consulting my friends.
Oh,
no.
Go ahead.
Re-gifted. All right. What you got to say, so debonair?
So I think I told this on the podcast too before. So me and my ex-girlfriend went out one time for our anniversary, and she thought it was our anniversary, and I took her out to eat, which it wasn't our anniversary, but she thought it was. So she had a whole breakdown with all her friends, and one of my best friends, actually, who just came to visit me a few weeks ago for Easter, she called me. She was like, "What did you do to her?" And I was like, "I didn't do anything. We went out to eat. That was it." And she's thinking it's like a whole anniversary. I'm supposed to go all out. And I'm like, we went out to eat. That was it. And so come to find out, she thought it was our anniversary. And she was mad because we went out to eat.
So she thought that raises
the fact that you just said you don't like to go out to eat, but yet you took her out to eat.
But for me, it was like we had just went out to eat. Like it was regular for me. It wasn't like it was a special day.
Like you weren't celebrating anything. You just went to eat.
No, that was it. Because I was doing my finals and stuff in school, everything. Mentally, I wasn't even thinking about no anniversary. I was like, I got tests to take tomorrow. This is what I'm thinking about. And so, and that wasn't even our damn anniversary either. So, kind of find out she thought it was our real anniversary, and I broke up with her on that day. So that was probably like the worst time that ever happened to me because I was like, I can't do it no more. But it was a lot of stuff that happened before that, but that was like my deal breaker for me. I couldn't do it anymore.
I think that also raises an interesting of a subtopic to this question: the expectation of people to give gifts. Like, do you have how do you handle the expectation? Like, for example, some people
believe that Valentine's Day is like the be all end all day. Like you have to, my birthday, you have to get me, you have to do this kind of thing. How do you handle the expectations of people? And even more so, or as a B question, like how, if somebody else, like I'm not that big of a celebrator of Valentine's Day, so it's not really that big of a deal to me. So how do you balance that in a relationship or a partnership or you're dating somebody? How do you handle those kinds of conversations?
I think you have to let that person know that those days are not that big to you. To me, I don't mind. I love giving out gifts. Like I love it. You know, I wish that I could do it all the time with someone, period. But I also would try to really know what my partner or even my friends want. Like, and I would listen to that. Like, even for my friend's birthday, like I knew he was starting a business, so I did a logo for him. And actually, I didn't even do it myself. I paid someone because I was so busy. I paid someone else to do it for him. And I let him walk through the process so he can get what he wanted. But those are things that I do. Like I want someone who's like, I love giving gifts. So I don't think that there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're not a gift giver and you don't know how to give gifts, I would think that you just say that and just give money, or, you know, just say I'm not a gift giver. You know, I like to give gifts in a different way, because also doing things together, it means a lot to me too. Like if we went out and we did like a pottery class, we went to paint and sip or something like that, those are gifts to me too. So it's just about the type of person that you're dating.
I think that's true. I can agree with that. Easy, you got anything on it?
I'm a big gift giver. I pay attention to the conversations that we have.
We know you're dating. You are in the next level dating situation.
Yeah,
listen,
like I really do.
I'm about to add into my my gift giving is an easy date. Like call Easy and find out what he do. So take me on this, because this is going to be a part of what I want.
Yeah, I've always been that way. Even when I was a kid, I gave gifts. So it was just always something that's always been a part of me. So I don't expect it back because I know everyone is not like me. But typically, I just want time. I'd rather have time than anything.
Yeah, me too.
So if you want to, whether we're hanging out, we go see a movie. Even when it comes down to my friends, because not all of my friends get along with each other. So I will be like, we're all going to come together. The gift is you're going to give me a happy celebration. There's not going to be any fighting or any arguing. That is the gift. I want all the people that I love and cherish, even though you may not like the next person over there, come together, be in the same room, celebrate me, and then go home with the business. Okay. That's just me. So just give me your time.
I don't think a lot of people realize that time means a lot to people, honestly, because I'm the same exact way. Like you don't really have, like, even for a date, like we don't have to do that. We can walk in. I did that with someone. Oh, I told you guys about that too. We don't really have to spend no money. We could just walk in the park and talk and just have a good time. We rode, for one of my days, we rode bikes. It was $6 a piece, you know, for a few hours. That was a lot. That meant a lot to me. All gifts are not expensive. You know, it's just about knowing the person that you're gifting, because everything is not materialistic to everybody. Sometimes it is about that time.
Absolutely.
Let's go to some of the comments. Lucia is in the building. Lucia says, be gracious, but tell them. Part of a gift giving is about knowing your partner. So if they buy you something you don't like, there's a bit of a disconnect.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Very valid point. Mabel says, this is how I treat family for Christmas. I'm going to get you what you like, or choose to, or close to it rather. Not nothing you don't want. I expect the same.
Right.
And to my second question that I asked the group, she says, I don't have to do anything. So Joseph gave a background story on the hoodie that he was pissed off about. He says, I asked for an Ed Hardy hoodie, and he got me some random hip-hop urban theme hoodie from Against All Odds. I would probably be upset about that too.
Well, first, Ed Hardy was expensive back in the day.
It was very expensive. It was very expensive.
He probably saw that price and was just like, no.
He's like He was like, against all odds, I'm gonna give you this shit.
Like,
LaBelle said, but if I love you and know it's your thing, I'll do it. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how it should be. Luce says, gifts are some people's love language.
Yes, it is.
If that's your partner, you have to serve that. And all gifts don't have to be expensive. Most people just want it to be thoughtful. Absolutely. 100%. Vocals New York is in the building. Vocal says, you sound like me, Easy. See, I knew I liked you for a reason.
Y'all need to go on a date.
Oh, bloop, bloop, bloop. Mark says,
you've been shooting this shot for a long time now.
Why don't all of your friends get along with each other? They don't love you? Don't they love you, rather?
My friends do. I hope they love me. But I know, like, some of my friends in my circle, I got a couple different circles. So, not all the circles get along, which is cool. But I will say this, though, when, like, it's my birthday or anything like that, which is typically when I bring all of them together, there is no problem. They actually all do come together. They may not talk to each other, but they do come, they do celebrate, and we have a nice old turn up. Oh.
That's his best friend. So there you go. So
good answer.
Shouldn't you be dancing somewhere right now?
Meech, if you're not busy, you should hop on and tell us what you think.
Yeah, because he clearly is not doing anything.
Come on, Meech, get on the stream with the boys for once.
Yeah, click the link.
We've been trying to get him on here forever.
Vocals New York also said, I agree with So Debonair. It's not always about the materialistic aspect. Sometimes it's about the effort and the time put into it. And I think we should all kind of take that into consideration, because when we get with somebody, we want to be lavish. We want to show them, that we really want to kind of give them what we can. But at the end of the day, it really is not about the lavish or the materialistic. It's always about the time spent and the thought behind it. I completely agree with that.
But my love language is also quality time too, so that may be why that is for me. So
yeah, and So Debonair has talked about how gift giving was not his thing. He could not understand that love language for the life of him. He just does not.
No. That was words for affirmation.
Oh, words of affirmation. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. But yes, it just is not. You don't.
Now, if you want me to sit there and write you a poem about some shit about you, we are not supposed to be together. It's not gonna happen, because I cannot give you words of affirmation through this poem. It's just not work for me, and I'm sorry, but yeah, that will be for me. I will give you a gift before you get words of affirmation from me, and not that unless I'm like, I mean, I can still give it to you, but it would feel like it'd be forced if that was like a gift to me. I don't know. And it feels like it's a responsibility. I'm sorry, it doesn't feel like it's like coming from the heart. It feels like it's forced to me.
Or what you could do is look up poems that talk about love and find the ones that express the things that you're feeling, and you send those to him. Like, send them to him on his birthday or a random Tuesday or a holiday. At least let him know that you are trying. Now, I may not be able to come up with the words, but this is what you mean to me.
Okay.
I think the extension of people trying to do things, even if you're not, if that's not your forte, like, even if you,
I just wouldn't feel like it was genuine. I wouldn't feel like it was genuine though for me. Like, honestly, I don't think I could date a person whose love language is words of affirmation ever again.
Like they did for Carrie in Sex and the City.
I just don't feel like it would be genuine, because I'm like, I didn't write that, or I don't feel like all the way like this. This is just something I saw a few words that I felt like I don't know if I could really be that person. I don't know.
Ever thine, ever mine, ever ours. Yes, I understand. So I get you, So Debonair, though. It's just not. It's not. Some people don't really like. Can you take song like lyrics from a song and transpose it into something that you feel for someone?
Oh, I do that all the time. I mean, it's just on people all the time. So maybe that is it. But it's not my words though. So I feel like it's not really.
Those words still express how you feel, and even if you're not able to come up with those words, just sharing that aspect, be like, look, when I hear this, I think of you.
Noted. I will put that in my notes. Now I now do words of affirmation. I'm great.
Yeah.
So when you get a card from So Debonair that says "Beat me 911" or "Call me on your cell phone," and I'll call back to see if you can tell me that are words of affirmation from him.
It's probably gonna say "Pussy don't fail me now." No,
Dwayne and I try. Right? We try. We lead him to the water. Sometimes he just chooses not to drink. And that ain't our fault. Right? Y'all see us on here. We be trying to lead him in the right direction.
It's gonna say, "Jump on it, let's do this. Ride my pony." You know, we gotta coach him through giving lyrics and making them love letters. Oh, that's great. Mimi said, I'm about to get off of work in a second, but I am never planning his birthday party again.
Because Mish knows how my friend circles are, so he tried doing it and bringing everyone together, and it was a lot. It was it stressed him the fuck out. Because people, like I said, not all my friends get along with each other, but I'm cool with it.
And last comment for this topic, Paul says, "Don't force a love language on another."
Yes, absolutely don't. Don't come to me with that affirmation shit. It won't happen.
Look how he just.
I'm gonna be like, listen, let me play some songs for you. I'm gonna go to the other room. This is how I feel. That's it.
Like for on that topic though, like my mother used to do that for one of her husbands. So like she was never very expressive about how she felt, but she would play the same song over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going to her first husband, like they were having some issues, and I was sitting, and I was in high school or something. And I was sitting in the kitchen, and I just blatantly asked him, I was like, "Do you ever listen to the song she keeps playing over and over again? Does that make sense to you? Like, have you thought that that's what she's trying to convey?" Like, and he was like, "No, I never really realized it." I was like, "Have you listened to the lyrics of the song?" I'm paraphrasing. It's something like "fuck you, nigger," like that kind of thing. I'm not, but it was something to that blatant,
Okay.
This is what I'm saying.
But see, that's probably why I think about it like that too. Because even when we were breaking up, it was like I used to play Monica Stay Argo all the time. I'm like, what are you doing? Because I'm out. Like, I'm really not waiting on this shit. Like, I would play a song for you about how I feel about me getting tired of your shit before I play about how I love you, honestly.
So that song would be "I was your lover and your secretary, even every day of the week." See, he not gonna cry. So Debonair's gonna play that all the time, and hope you get it. No, okay, all right, fine, that's fine.
I never thought about the other way around. That's the crazy part. So, I never thought about the play like to express my love for someone. I thought about playing it because this is how I feel about why I'm tired of your ass. So, I got to change the way that I think at this point.
Me said music is a beautiful love language. Agreed. Absolutely.
I express myself through music.
Let's go to this is not the last topic for the night. Geez, so we still talking about relationships? Goodness,
really?
Because we don't have us.
The next topic in relationships is: do you think you could fly out on a weekend trip as a first date with someone you've been getting to know for only a month?
No.
This came from the Easy Say, Easy Done group.
I remember this.
Do you think you could fly out on a weekend trip as a first date with someone you've been getting to know for only a month? Now, I'm going to tell you why this triggers me personally. Because I'm a flight attendant. And I'm like, when I first started flying, I thought it was cute. Like, I met this dude. I don't even know. Oh, yeah, I do. We met on one of the apps. And he was just like, "Hey, I'm in your area, but I'm about to go to this bar to have some drinks with some friends. Do you want to join me?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, cool. Okay, cool." So we get there, And the vibe was great. The bar was great. His friends were cool. He was cool. Like it was a good vibe. And so, it was kind of like one of those things where it was like, well, I really like you, maybe you should come out and see me again, or I could come to Atlanta or whatever the case was. And I ended up going to Denver, like in my off time, like going to Denver, like a couple of weeks, like every couple of weeks I was flying out to Denver. And then it got really uncomfortable because I felt like I'm putting out more than I'm receiving. Like I'm utilizing my ability to be able to fly. And I think that's why a lot of flight attendants, I mean, granted, we have a reputation amongst people. Some people love us, some people hate us. That's your business. But, it really, it just, would I ever do it to fly out like as a first date? We would have to have been talking more than a month, I think, to answer the question. Like, I'm not just about to risk it all and spend, if I wasn't a flight attendant, spend a certain amount of money to go, and because my thought process is like, what happens if I get there and this goes south really quick? Like now I'm stuck to be there for however long I'm supposed to be there. The energy is off. I have to stay in this house. I mean, granted, I might have provisionals to go get a hotel room or whatever the case is. So if I want to spend the rest of the time there, or maybe change my flight or what, there's too many variables in that situation. I don't think that I would do it for just a month.
I don't know. I probably would do this, honestly. I ain't gonna lie to you. But the only reason why I would probably do it is because I dated a pilot and we did this. And we actually had a really great date and we had a really good time. We dated for a while and it was dope. And it wasn't anything bad that happened with it. So I don't think that I don't see anything wrong with this, honestly.
Easy.
You ain't about to chop me up in no freezer and have me buried out in the woods.
I mean, you meet in a mutual space, though. It's not like you're meeting at his house, and we met at a hotel. I got the hotel because he flew into Atlanta, and we had a really good time. And actually, it was so crazy because he was supposed to get into Atlanta earlier that day, but his flights were getting delayed because he was on standby. And so I was at work and I was like, well, just let me know when you're in the way so I can get there before you get here. And so I ended up getting able to work my full day of work because his flights kept getting delayed. But when he actually got here, it was late and he ended up actually staying an extra day, but we had an amazing time together though.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at some of these comments because one in particular has sent me. Okay, so
this is how Lifetime movies are made.
Listen,
all right, like
you go missing. Did y'all watch them? She went to the milkman's house and they never come back. I'm just saying.
Wait, she went to the milkman's house on them?
Yeah.
We're now about to dissect this.
What episode was that?
Have you finished this season?
I've seen the whole thing. I remember going to a milkman's house.
I'm not telling because maybe the people that haven't seen it. So
okay. We'll talk about this off air. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Maybe she walked down the street. I was concerned, so it doesn't really matter about the milkman's house.
I'm talking about the white woman. I'm sorry, Easy. Did you have a comment to the?
I mean, if you're going to do that and you feel comfortable and you feel safe and secure and everything after dating just for a month, just make sure people know where you're going, who you're going with, how long you're going to be gone, where you're staying, like the emergency contact information. Like, please have a point of contact if you're going to do something like this. That's all I'm going to say.
Have a plan B too, because like if things go south, make sure you have
some money on your own,
or have somebody that you know in the area, or at least be able to fend for yourself if you're put out there like that. Like if it not go the way that you want it to go.
Just
now, Android, can you turn your location on so people can find you?
Yeah,
on the Android phone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's what I did. Actually, I did that, but my friends all knew where I was at as well. He came to Atlanta, and I still did that. Just to make sure that, if this was some psychopath that, I didn't know, I was good. Like they knew.
Look,
My best friend sat outside for a very long time before I told me to go home. That's how secure my shit was. So,
And one of my friends circles, we send each other pictures of our dates. Like if we're going out on a date, I'm going with this nigga.
Yeah, listen, they all have seen that man. They would be able to identify that man.
Yes.
And they saw that man walk into that hotel, and they saw him walk back out when I left out in the morning time. They knew who that man was. So if something happened to me, he would be very easily to be identified. They took pictures of him when he walked in and out as well. So yes.
That's some good ass friends. I'm gonna tell you that. That you
Yes.
have those
Yeah, look, people are crazy out here these days.
Yes.
Okay. Crazy.
People get killed. Literally, they're getting killed on meeting on apps. So you just have to be confident about
you hear the stories, you talk about it on social media all the time. Matter of fact, they had one not too long ago. The brother was shot in the head.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So can a person who has like an Android, can they turn their location on for a person who has an iPhone? I'm really not being funny. I'm not being funny. I'm asking because I mean that's really good information to know.
I don't think
is that possible?
I think there's an app that you have to have in order for that to happen. I don't think you can do that.
Oh, okay. I'm being very serious. I didn't know, but I wanted to know that.
I'm not gonna turn it.
There's no share between an iPhone and Android. I was really wanting to know because I mean I could text you right now, but like my location for 20 as long until I cut it off. But I never did with the Android phone. But even when people come to my house, I'm very serious about that shit. Like I would turn my location on in a minute to make sure that I'm good.
Let's go to some of the comments.
Every episode.
Luce says, absolutely. Why not? I met a dude in Atlanta on vacation and he lived in New York. I went up to see him the next weekend and we still talk to this day.
See?
Ooh, Jesus.
Are y'all dating now?
They're not dating.
Oh, they just still talk.
They are soulmates. We'll leave that there.
Oh, okay.
Lavelle says, why would you spend your flyer miles on a first date? Like,
I think that's romantic. I do. I mean, depending on where you go, like, don't take me to West Virginia. Like, don't fly me to West Virginia or nothing like that. But like, depending on where you go, that could be very romantic.
Okay.
And any viewers who are from West Virginia, we do apologize for the remarks of Zoe Debonair.
Listen,
they do not.
I'm gonna talk about West Virginia because my family is from West Virginia. I've lived in West Virginia. I would never want anyone. When I was a flight attendant, I hated even flying there. So West Virginia is not a place I would want to have a romantic day at never.
You might find a husband in West Virginia. I don't know why you playing.
Yeah, but you have to go during the daytime because you don't know what's going to happen at nighttime.
That segues into the next comment. Brandon is in the building. Brandon says, yes, that sounds like a nice date, especially if it's a place neither of us have gone to. It's a foreign mutual experience for both of us to learn something new together. Neither one of us will have home field advantage. And
absolutely.
That wasn't the basis of the question, but that's a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Joseph says, ha. I'm sorry. Ha. Well, no, that doesn't say ha. If they flew you out. So maybe he's asking if they flew you out. It was a true story for him because he was flown out to first class round trip and a free hotel room. Now, if
they meant how if they flew you out.
If you flew me out, then that's a different situation.
If I what?
If you flew, if I'm being flued out,
like not on no first date. Don't flew me on no first date. Because I need to know, and I need to have my return flight too. And it needs to be in my name.
Like it just seems like a lot for a first date because it's like a first date is we meet up and we are talking and texting and then we set something up like within a week or two. And it's just like now you're trying to fly me out. Like I gotta inform my job, I gotta take off, I gotta do PTO. Like this is a lot of variables. Like I don't know how everyone else is set up.
And I think it's setting a tone because what do you do on the next date? You know what I'm saying? Like this is extreme. So like, what do you do for the next day? You know, flew me out, and now I'm expecting like something better the next time. I can't. I mean, what if I can't compare this type of date? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What do we do next? Like, it may sound like a setup. Now, with me and the guy that I did this with, we had multiple dates. They were all great. We came here. I went with him. We've had great dates, and they all escalated to greater dates. But you have to be able to live that lifestyle to be doing all this.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know, I don't think it should be a tit for tat thing. You do what you can do.
It ain't a tit for tat thing, but you can't fly me out to London, and then we go into the Waffle House, and then we go to the Waffle House in Atlanta. When you like, it just don't match. Like,
I want to be the friend that look at you funny because I'm gonna be like, oh, he flew you out. Okay, that's cute. What'd you do for him? Oh, we went to the go-go.
Yeah.
You went to the what?
That's the go-go.
Yeah, we was on stage in VIP.
Shirley got a big old butt. Yeah. I love it. Talk about Miss Tony said how you gonna carry it at the listen. Okay, I'm sorry. That took me way back. Ooh, okay. That just took me out of here. That was great. So you go to Paris, and then I'm gonna take you to the go-go. That's fine.
I'm just saying, like, it's out. How about this?
He took me to the trap house, to T.I.'s trap house. Like, it just like we can't.
You posed on the Cadillac.
No, you know, you got the little trap house museum. Like, it just don't they don't match. Like,
I thought you went to T.I.'s other trap house.
Baby, if you go to that trap house, I don't know if you gonna remember that because they drug you. Allegedly.
Oh, that is.
I don't know if you remember that one, but I'm just saying.
How about what if you ask him to tone it down? Would that be too much?
I think at that point,
it's flown out. Let me fly you out somewhere, and I feel like, well,
I think at that point, it's a part of a conversation because you're letting him know, hey, I cannot compare to this. You know, let's break it down some so we can like really do this. Now, if he tells you like, hey, you know, I'm not worried about, you know, I'm not comparing the dates or whatever. In the back of my mind, I'm still gonna be like, nah, nigga, because at some point you're gonna be like, I'm doing all this and you doing this. Like, it's just but I think as time goes on, if you started doing that, it'll be different. But you cannot be giving me these extravagant dates and I'm giving you like mediocre things. Like, it would make me feel some type of way.
Well, I think it's the initial conversation. So, for example, if we're talking about the first date and you had said, okay, I'm gonna buy you a plane ticket. I want you to come to California. I want to do the X, Y, and Z. Then initially you say from the jump, that's really great. You know, I that's wonderful. However, I can't afford to do the same thing. I'm not in a place financially, or I can't, you know, whatever your circumstance situation is, let it be known in the beginning. And then that way you don't have anything to worry about later on if the gifts continue to come in the manner that he's capable of giving them to you.
Absolutely.
But there's actually two different ways we can look at this. Okay, so let's say this. So let's say that what you said, California.
Sure, why not?
Let's say California. So let's say that I'm dating someone who lives in California, right? They flew me to California. We had a date. And then the date went great. Our communication has been going great after that. And I flew this person back to Atlanta. I wouldn't mind that. Because it's like, you know, we're equally giving each other off, you know, something that we're showing each other's lifestyle. But don't fly me out to, like I said, to like London. You don't live there, I don't live there, and I got to compete with that. Like, I think that's different than us flying each other out to each other's place of where we live.
Child, y'all gonna have to wait 6 to 8 weeks anyway, because some of these girls ain't got no passport to do London. So
some of these girls got them though. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Freedom here.
Don't be a flight attendant fly me out for free and I gotta pay for your ticket to come back because we have a problem.
Because I'm not using my benefits for you to fly me. Are in the comments at this point. Yes,
what are the comments given?
Meech says, yeah, I almost been flew out before to Atlanta.
From who?
Who thought to flew you out?
Who flying you to Atlanta?
Flued out. That ain't none of my business. Miss Diva says, I haven't received nearly as much gifts as I've given.
Facts. Facts.
It's different for women too, though.
Yeah, it's very different for women. You need to reevaluate what, how heavy this scale is. That might
I agree with her 100%.
Some lopsided gifts going on. Brandon says you should create boundaries and rules, however, maybe separate rooms, get to the place of your own. So if it goes south, you can leave on your own. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, you don't agree with that, so debonair?
Actually, I like that.
I don't know if I'll do the separate rooms. I mean, it depends on how the day goes. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I would say that without it sounding rude though. Like if you flew me out to where you're at, and then I'm like, well, we're gonna get separate rooms. I feel like that's kind of rude because you spent money to hang out with me, and then now we got separate rooms. Just because we stay in the same room doesn't mean we have to have sex. Like that doesn't mean that.
But the pressure is there, though. The pressure is there.
I wouldn't feel pressure. I would not feel like that because if there could be a couch, bed, there could be something else there. So I mean, I would just set the rules before you even book everything. Like, hey, this is what I don't want to do. But getting separate rooms to me would seem like it may come off as though you're using that person. To me,
not necessarily, because think about it from these two perspectives. Like you just said when we talked earlier about knowing your boundaries when it comes to sex, and if you know that you don't want to have sex with this person, then you come up with another variable in order for you to be able to enjoy the date, right? That's a perspective of it. The other perspective is it's about energies. If the person has made you, you're not really 100% how you feel about them, and if they do something to turn you off, because here's the other aspect of this, and I did this with my partner. I tricked him to a degree because I said, let's go to Disney, go to Florida for, since out of town. I'm going to take you out of your element. I'm going to put you in a space where you don't have control over everything. And I'm going to see how you react. And if, you might get on my nerves. And if you get on my nerves, I'm going to be like, all right, well, it was great. You're cool. But if not, let's see how you react to being in a space that you're not familiar with. And then does that mean that you turn, does the energies work? Do they not work? Is your attitude nasty? If somebody pisses you off, are you ready to blow up, the spot? Like how do you respond? Because all of that then trickles down to now I have to go back to the hotel with this person. And if they've just, their attitude is nasty, there's this, that something turns you off, then you're stuck.
I understand.
I like the idea of the separate rooms, and like I said, it does. I feel like it would take off the amount of pressure of something having to happen, even if in your mindset you're not going to do anything, but you're both in the same room. Eventually, y'all going to get naked. Eventually, y'all going to be in the bed together. Eventually, somebody.
Why do you got to get naked?
You're not bathing. You're not showering.
He don't got to be while I'm in there bathing and showering.
Where he gonna be at?
In the room while I'm in the bathroom, showering and bathing.
Are you not coming out the bathroom?
I'm going to take my clothes in the bathroom with clothes on when I come back out the bathroom.
Who does that?
12.
Somebody who don't want to have no damn sex with the person that they in the room with. I mean, I get what you guys are saying about the separate rooms. To me, that just seems very extreme to me.
Well, look, if you're willing to spend the bread to fly me out, you have the bread to get a separate room.
That's that on that.
Maybe. I just want to waste anybody's money.
I can understand it to a degree too.
That ain't my money.
Mark says, like Wendy said, beware of the killer.
Thank you.
The killer is real.
They out there.
So, Vocals New York says, folks are batshit crazy. So I don't know.
Yeah. You don't know what he's gonna do to you in the sleep.
Meech answered his Atlanta flued out question. Man, don't get me started. All right, fine.
Don't get him started. It's about easy or him.
I'm sorry. I said Meech. Meech answered his.
But Meech said, "Don't get him started." Who's he talking about? Easy or him?
Oh, I thought he was talking in reference to his Atlanta story.
Meech, they want clarity.
He just said, "Don't get me started." He said, "Don't get him started." Who was him? Is it Easy or him?
Oh, he might be talking about Easy. He might. I'm sorry, I read that wrong.
Because we get little nuggets from Meech when he's on here.
Meech is on. It's the what ifs. Absolutely, Joseph. LaBelle says exactly. I'm judging you for the go-go. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Luche says you're blocking your blessings.
Child, you keep playing around, you're gonna meet the maker of blessings.
Okay. But if it's your time to go, it's your time to go. Period.
It's just
whether you're in your room or his room, it's your time to go.
What?
That's just my philosophy. That's what I believe. We don't gotta stay stuck there. We don't have to stay stuck there.
LaBelle says, if you can't do it, be honest about it. Absolutely. And she also says, you don't know each other, Debonair. You're not seeing me first thing in the morning.
That's another thing too. Y'all gotta take shits down. He gonna smell you.
But people who live here has done that. So I'm not. You flew me out. Like, to me, you deserve to see this before the person who lives here that does that.
But you moving them in too quick though.
I mean, one person that happened one time. Let's not say I'm doing this too much. That happened one time. That was it.
We're not gonna hold you. You're accountable for your one mistake. It's fine, and it wasn't even a mistake in your eyes.
It is not my fault that I did not know that Mary had a little lamb.
It's not,
a little ball had a brother named Ball.
It's not Maria's fault. It's not her fault. Amisha also says all about energy and more, because you can easily match energies with someone you met after a week or over a year, but just be safe and know your boundaries.
Absolutely.
Lastly, Luche says, thank you, so debonair. Y'all better live this life while you can.
Put that on your tombstone when you take it.
Because you can know that, just like they just said, the same man you met that same day could be fine, but the man you've been knowing for months or years could knock your ass out at any time, and you don't even know. You never know who it's going to be. That's why when I became a flight attendant, that was my philosophy. I could trip down the steps and die that day. My time is my time, period. I've lived like that. So that's it.
All right. Last topic for the relationship section, and we'll get to
how many we got?
This is the last one. This is the last.
We don't have sex topics this week, so
we don't have sex topics tonight. Lastly, Sean said, "I'm not trying to end up in anybody's suitcase, though."
Stop watching Pose, Sean.
Because that man is still in her closet. I'm sorry. I hope we address this in the new season, because I need to know. The man is still in the closet. The last topic in the relationship section is: do you think 69s are overrated?
Yes.
That's a sex
Whose
topic.
Bell was that? Whose bell was that? Who went off? Y'all didn't hear that bell go off?
There was a
It
bell.
was like, doo-doo.
There was a bell? No.
Is my headphones down or something? No. It sounded like that was a sign from God that said this is a general answer of yes.
That's how you interpret it? What?
It was like, as soon as he said it, was like, doom, doom. I was like, oh, everybody gonna say yes.
That's the long word
yes.
sound. Like,
okay, right. Is 69 overrated, gentlemen?
Sex is not overrated, period.
69 is definitely overrated. You're not gonna catch me doing it. So no ma'am, no Pam, no ham.
And no turkey. LaBelle said that storyline on Pose actually happened. It is based on a true story. I'm quite sure.
I know.
Yeah.
But still start watching Pose.
69. I think I've said.
Are y'all doing 69s until 2021?
Into 2021?
2021.
Are we doing? Are you okay? That's a question.
How about this? Why are we not?
I mean, it just sounds like sucking dick. People sucking dick, and I'm not sucking dick like that. So it doesn't seem like
that's a personal thing.
That's why I said for me and my house, it's a no for me. It's overrated. Yes.
I don't. Are people still? That's a great question, Sunday. But are people still 69 in?
I never even see people like bragging about this. Even in the porn that I've been seeing, I've never really seen a 69.
What porn are you watching?
The 12 on Twitter. And I haven't. I honestly, I haven't even. And I can go through my bookmarks because y'all talking about bookmarks. But I get to my bookmarks, and I don't think I've seen a 69 on there.
You're only watching 2 minutes and 20 seconds of the scene, like.
But it starts off with the dick sucking. Most of them. Most of it is
All
more
of
dick
them.
sucking than anything. Yeah, it's never a 69.
I feel like 69 is like an intermission time.
Okay. Okay.
Like you
I don't have
intermission.
I don't have intermission. So
you gotta let your we already know you the credits.
I want to thank this man for giving me some dick and some eating my booty, and that's it. We're done. That's it. Roll the credits. Roll that good
I'm gonna
beef.
say so debonair is barely the previews, but I'm thinking 69 is like break time, like so you can give your whole time to breathe. Give him a little bit.
It sounds like licking nipples to me. How long y'all 69 in? How long is this happening?
First of all, you're not gonna talk to me about time.
No, I'm asking like in general, like how's this happening? I'm not asking for you like personally. I'm just saying in general. How long is this supposed to last?
That is hilarious. I love this because now the shoe is on the other foot. Easy is like, yes, like absolutely, like yes. And so then it's like, who's doing that? Like, wait.
But we are two different people now. Like we are
clearly.
When it comes to sex, by the time I'm getting into it, he's sending them on the way.
Baby,
so,
they at home. They at home by the time.
Yeah, like player, like
Oh. That's
so like, but generally, like, how long does this happen in the intermission?
10, 15.
Oh, so about my sex time. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you the last time I 69. I'm gonna be very honest. I have no idea. Like, it doesn't even appeal to me. Like, I don't even think about it. Like,
okay, I need people to jump in these comments. Are y'all 69?
No. They are here. Are you ready for these comments? That's what
yes, I'm ready. I want to hear the comments.
Baby.
Like, how y'all put restrictions on sex?
Luce says, I didn't know that 69 was still a thing.
What?
Meech says, yeah, last time dude bit my tip and I bopped him.
Wait.
Oh, LaBelle says to each their own. Vocals New York says, they sure are, baby, in acrobatic handstands.
Hell yes.
Meech says, I'm too tall for that shit now. I can't.
Like, how tall is he?
How tall is he?
I'm 6. Meech is like 6'2", 6'3".
Oh, LaBelle says to each their own. Vocals New York says side planks and all the circus tricks.
Hell yeah.
Vocals New York, a whole circus. Yes, Meech says. Joseph says there's so many new positions. So at this point, it's kind of basic bitch shit. Like
now some of these new positions that I've been seeing it's just a no. Like
I'd rather try them than that 69 shit.
Because just off the clips that I see off of Twitter, they be putting these people in some positions that are just not acceptable. I'm sorry.
Like, oh,
it's just not gonna happen.
The vocals comment, I mean it. Flipping, rolling, and folding. Who's doing all of that? What? This is intermission is wearing me out. Okay. So now Meech and Vocals New York are going back and forth in the comments at this point. Here we go. Oh, well, okay. All right.
Yeah, I really did. Meech, how tall are you?
He said 6'3".
6'3". You said 6'3".
Yeah, okay, I was right. Yeah, because like I said, he's a few inches taller than me.
I can't get a basic dig down in years, so don't ask me, says LaBelle.
I just couldn't see myself 69. Like I would be so. My dick would get soft. I would probably be so bored.
Yeah, because I've said this before. I think on the podcast, like, and maybe I am just weird. Like sucking my dick does nothing for me.
Yeah,
I think it had only been like one person in my years that I was just like, oh, I could come from this. This is great, but that's it. It just does nothing for me, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately. I mean, it's just not my cup of tea. But
to each his own. That's what someone said.
Yes, you ain't never lied easy. You're gonna need Bengay, Icy Hot, and
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I've seen some of these clips, and I'm just like, why would anyone even accept that?
And Sean makes a very good point. It eats into your time limit. I think
my time limit is very short. So
there's time limit, right?
Yes.
And Mish did answer. He is 6'3", 6'4" on a good day. There we go.
Yeah,
what's a good day? What's the good day? I don't know what that is.
It's when he wears his spikes. You know.
Oh,
got
his brunch boots. The brunch boots.
Not his
We love you, Mish. Don't take it personal. We love you. All right, so there we go. The whole part, Aaron. See, there we go. It takes up your time.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to.
I'll probably be over the whole shit. I'm like, if 69, I'm done. It'd probably be like the guy coming over here to catfish me. Like, we did not discuss this.
Like, no, mm-hmm. And we're not doing 69. It's not happening.
You know what? I'm gonna head out.
Well, I got a question. I'm gonna save it for Twitter though.
No, answer the question.
What are the two go-to moves or the go-to positions that you have to have?
Like doing sex?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know mine.
Missionary has to be included for me at some point. It had like I have to. We have.
Aaron, I'm sorry, Aaron did.
And we know So Debonair hates Missionary from his ex. So we're not even.
Although I did have missionary sex about a month or two ago, though I did have that. It was okay, but the boy's dick was long enough for that action, so it was fine. I think there's a certain length of dick that needs to happen for me to want to like missionary sex, and because I'm smaller now too, it's not as uncomfortable.
That's a valid point. You have lost 30 pounds. Did I read?
35 at this point. Yes.
Yes. Yes. I'm sorry. You deserve some horns. Yes, that COVID weight is gone. Thank you.
Yes, it is out of here. I'm so happy. But doggy styles is my go-to. I love that. That's my thing.
All right then.
What are your go-tos, Easy?
Oh. See,
now you getting like me. I ask the questions, y'all answer. I don't see. Now you don't want to answer the question.
I love a good missionary. I gotta have missionary. That's gotta be involved.
I'm not a huge fan of doggy, but I really do like the little side, like laying on your side.
Oh, the good side, yeah.
Leg up. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Let's go to some of the comments. Vocals New York said, "Ooh, that's a good question."
Well, thank you, Vocal.
Yes. Justin, we haven't heard from Justin. Hey, Justin.
Hey.
Justin says missionary has to be a part of.
I love Justin.
What's up, Justin? Vocals New York says, So Debonair does not like missionary. Congratulations on your weight loss.
Listen, I was trying to breathe. I'm like, I can't breathe. I can't do the double. Let me up.
Yes. Luce says missionary and ass up, face down. I'm too old for all the other shit. Listen, that's just how it be. Oh, I'm sorry. We said missionary, but riding is also has to be included in some form of fashion if you can get up there. So debonair raised his eyebrow because when he was bigger, he don't like to be up there.
But I also said that riding is different for me because if it's a certain size type of dick, I do want to do that because I need to figure out how to get on it. Yeah. After that, we going to doggy style. But yeah.
Yes, Vocals agrees. It's nothing like a good side stroke. I agree. Absolutely.
Now when we said what's about side stroke, like are we just laying there? It's like there's a leg up. Like how's this looking for you guys?
You had put your Baptist finger up. I mentioned that I do like the side stroke and the leg up situation, like that also included.
Yeah, that leg needs to be lifted up for me because we can't just lay there.
Yeah,
my legs just laying straight
over here.
Yeah,
Justin said, "I love y'all. I like to look in the eyes when I'm stroking." Okay, yeah, all right.
Now, if it's a big person, you may not want to look in her eyes. So we probably crying.
Wait, what?
I said if it's a big person, like I'm probably like,
what is that face?
What position is it?
But they want to keep pushing your legs up to the the top of the damn bed. First of all, sir, this is restraining. Let me loose.
Get off of my thighs. Like when they hold you down in that back of the knee part right there, they got. No,
and I just keep on pushing it back. I'm like, but I mean, I can receive a little bit more now, so I'm fine with that. Now, if I gain this way back again, I'm gonna say the same shit I said before. Yo, it's a lot.
Gets in the way. I can't. My stomach gets in the way.
My stomach is like, I'm almost at your lips, sir.
It's like, oh, there's something in my belly button. I don't. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Mish says bulldog is my fave, or legs all the way up, pinned down while staring into your eyes.
What is bulldog?
What the hell is bulldog?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll explain.
Bulldog.
Vocals New York says legs in full splits. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Joseph says my ex was very flexible. We didn't mean to make you think about your ex, so we're sorry. Vocals New York says why crying?
Because I can't breathe, bitch. I can't breathe. What you mean? I was about to die.
Right.
I'm not about to die for the dick.
That's not.
You ain't committed then. You ain't committed.
Oh, I don't need to be that committed.
Oh, well, you only live once. What you mean?
Okay.
Isn't that your philosophy?
If it's your time to go, it's your time.
It's your time to go. Oh, now you got restrictions.
It wasn't my time to go. That's why I know my limitations.
You just said you can fall down the steps tomorrow.
Okay, I can. But I'm not gonna purposely fall down the steps.
But I'm just saying, like, if you take a dick and you die in the process,
I'm not gonna purposely do some shit I know I can't do and die. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, I love you guys.
There's people who die who never died before.
Listen, still today, somebody died that they never died before. Easy's favorite position is headboard, dog. Well, what?
What is hairboard?
What is that? Is that Gina from Martin? Like when she got her head stuck in the headboard?
Yes.
What time is he getting out of what he was doing? He need to call in. There's a lot of positions that I don't know what he's talking about.
He is referring to a moment in my past where I got my head stuck in the headboard.
For real?
Yes.
Like you was Gina? Like for real? Like you was stuck in the headboard?
I hate you so much. It's a little remix to it, but I had the a platform sleigh bed type setup. Actually, I still have it. And the box springs that go into the bed they still have the plastic on them. Like I wanted to, and then the mattress sits on top. We were in a position, and it was good. And as he's, doing his thing back there, the friction, the mattress was moving on the box springs, which are covered in plastic. So the mattress kept sliding back out a little bit over time. And my head slipped in the crack in between the headboard and the mattress, and the pillows kind of fell in there, and I kind of got stuck. But I was trying not to let it bother me. Like I was trying like not to ruin the moment. I was trying to get myself out of it, but he was drilling faster, and I'm just getting stuck further down in there. And I just and then literally, I kid you not, I got to the point where I made it to the box spring, and it's like I said, it's covered in plastic. So my mouth is now on the plastic, and I'm like breathing it in, and I can't I'm like, okay, stop. We gotta stop. Like the pillows were stuck down there. Like my head is down there. I'm breathing in the plastic, and it was a whole situation.
What?
So yeah. So yeah. I was like, no, stop. I was literally I couldn't. Like I said, I was trying to get myself out of the position and not lose the momentum of what's happening back there, but I couldn't. Yeah, it was.
So you was willing to die for the day, basically.
Hey,
literally.
It was good.
Oh, no, easy.
I remember one time me and my ex-girlfriend was having sex at a hotel, and I ripped the headboard off the wall at a hotel we were having sex at.
In 3 minutes?
No, we wasn't having 3 minutes sex. This was before I had sex with men. I was top, I had to be at top at this point, so yeah. I wasn't being penetrated. I was penetrating. And yeah. But yeah, I ripped the headboard out the wall. She had to pay for that shit too. But.
You made her pay for it.
It wasn't I mean, yeah. I was a gay man on the inside parts.
Leave it alone, Dwayne. Leave it alone.
Okay. Well, I do want to bring a reference to something that we were discussing just now. This is if you needed valid viewpoint about, I think this is what we were discussing. So here we are.
Oh,
you need a visual to ease being
y'all
stuck in
ain't shit. You ain't shit either.
That's why I said, me always just drop little nuggets and shit going on.
Telling you. I live.
Each knows where the bodies are buried.
Literally. The people in the comments going ham.
It was I'm so I kid you not, honest to God, I was literally a little bit terrified because I didn't know what was happening. There was no air down there. There's no air. And
you were breathing in the plastic.
Huh?
You said you were breathing in the plastic, right?
Yeah, because on the box springs, there's if you were to pull the box spring out, if you're moving the bed, it's a large piece of plastic that's there. So you can grab that and you can pull it out. So that large piece of plastic is now I'm like, what is this? What's happening? I can't. And then the pills were down. There was no air down there. And I'm sitting there taking it, but also trying to get out of it. And it just wasn't working.
I have a question.
Come on with the hand.
Were you still getting pleasure from what was happening though? Was it kind of this weird kind of I'm still into it, but I'm about to die?
I was trying to stay with it.
Oh, that's great. That is hilarious.
It was just a lot. I don't think he was catching on to it at first. And
he was killing you, literally.
He was he was beating that thing up. I ain't gonna front.
Oh well.
I've had experience like that, but not about like with a headboard and the plastic though.
I am. Lachey, I am.
I think I had told you guys this too. There was a guy when I first started having sex. He told me that I was like more open, and I got afraid. I was like, oh god, like I'm never going to be able to. My ass is not going to be closed again. But the dude was like fucking me, and like literally when he said it, I was literally like trying to crawl off the bed, but he just kept fucking me like off the edge of the bed onto the floor. I was trying to get like he just would not stop fucking me, and like going like after it was over with, I thought it was hot, but at that point I was so afraid. I was like, I'm not gonna hold my poop in. Like I was afraid because I was like, I'm open. Like what does this mean? But it's one of my first experiences of hearing this as a bottom. So yeah,
the things we do. I'm telling you. That is something that I'll never forget, though. I'll never forget that.
I really wish I could do that actually again, but yeah, it's actually pretty hard.
I just felt like you needed horns there. The comments are still going. Easy, they loved your story. People can't breathe.
Literally.
Look.
I've already made some people spit out drinks, and I'm not shit, according to Lucia. I love you. Now LaBelle has to go pee because it's too much. Justin says that's why he let it go for as long as he did because he was enjoying it, right? See, that's why I had to ask that question. He was enjoying it, I think.
And we laughed about it at the end of it all too. So
yeah, because you're still here to tell the story.
Yeah.
Renovate the house, debonair, new tricks. So
no, that wasn't my house. This was when I first started messing around with one of the other people's houses.
I'm telling you, I'm sitting there thinking about it now.
But that was like the first guy that I ever had sex with too, and like he was like the first person who really taught me that I liked it too. So
okay, this has been great. I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have enjoyed this thoroughly. Let's go to our last topic for the night. Our last thing for the night. I forgot we even had a letter. Clearly.
Oh, we got a letter?
We do. This is it. This is it for the night, gentlemen. We have a letter. I meant to ask you this, so debonair. This is not from the same person that it was from.
No, it's not. I forgot. Yeah.
I was just making sure. I didn't want to read the person's name. So this is an anonymous letter. And if you want to send us letters of things that you want us to talk about on the show, make sure you go to aothpodcast.com and leave us a message of your letter. So this letter says, gentlemen, if y'all are ready, it says, Dear Affairs of the Heart, I am turning 17 and getting ready to graduate from high school, and I have no idea what I want to do once I graduate. My family is pressuring me to go to college right away. There are a few reasons why I don't want to do this. Number one is I'm not really sure I want to go to college. Yes, I want a career, but I don't think I don't think college is really for me. Number two, I'm not sure I want to spend thousands of dollars on something I don't know if I'm going to even complete or get a job in said field of work. And number three, lastly, I've spent my entire life pleasing my family, and I really want to explore my free and out life as a Black gay man. I plan on letting my family know after graduation. So I'm assuming after high school graduation. Do you guys have any advice or tips to give me on any of this? You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first. I have what I have. But you go first though.
All right. You're 17, and I think for me, I knew right out of high school that college was not for me personally. I later went to college after, but right out of high school, I was not really looking forward to being the college life because that was not something that I had ever experienced, nor did I know what I was getting myself into. And I did not want to. All I thought was the dollar signs. I looked at how much it was going to cost, where the money was going to come from, all of that kind of stuff, and I was just not prepared to sign my life away for that. So I can kind of empathize with this writer, but I think for you, you have to do what's best for you at this point. You've done what's required of you as far as high school is concerned. And if that's all your family is requiring of you at the present moment, even though they want you to go to college, you kind of have to decide what is best for you. And, you know, obviously taking in their thoughts into consideration, but have a plan. So when you go to them and say, hey, I don't want to go to college right now, or I'm not thinking about college, I don't think it's for me, but this is what I'm going to do instead. You know, there are plenty of people, and some of us on this panel included, that found careers outside of college or were working in fields that we didn't even major in college. So you're absolutely right. You don't necessarily need college. However, I'm also not going to tell you to not even look into it, because that experience for the friends that I do have that have gone to college for the years that they have, it has been an experience like no other for them, especially in HBCUs. So I would advise that if you go the route of not going to college, write out a plan of what you plan to do. You know, have a backup plan, you know, have a career in mind, have a field in mind that you're thinking about going to, so that you can, you know, really excel in that and prove to your family that maybe college is not what you need, but you ultimately have found what you really want to do. And just kind of go from there.
What's that year that they call when you take off before you actually go to college? I know they're talking about on grownish beef. I mean, on blackish. I can't think of the name of it though.
I know what you're talking about. It's just basically you're taking a year off from high school in between college.
Yeah, like you're just trying to figure out what you want to do or whatever. Yeah. But I think that this person is in that kind of space. And I would do that. I think that, you know, even though I didn't fully finish college, those were the best days of my life.
It's called a gap year.
A gap year, yeah. I wouldn't even though I wasted so much money doing it. Like, I mean, I would never. And actually, if I had friends that were in college, I would probably even experience to do that until I really knew I wanted to go to college, because those were the best years of my life. Like, I can't take those days back. I would never even try to. Like, the money that I spent, I don't even mind paying that shit back, because it just gave me so much clarity on as an individual who I am. And also let me know that the career field that I want to go down, I really don't have to spend 4 years or a lot of years to get there. So I just think that, you know, that gap year is very important. I wish I would have taken a gap year to kind of process what I really wanted to do, because my mother didn't want me to leave home, period. And so I had to fight my way out of there. I went to a school that I hated. It didn't specialize in anything that I wanted to do. And because I started dating a girl, then she let me go to another college. So it kind of let me experience different things that I really want to do. But then I was like, well, I could have did this in like a trade school and been okay. So, you know, I wasted a lot of money doing it, but I really don't regret that time frame, because I learned a lot about me as an individual. So if you have friends who are in college, I will live vicariously through them and live the college life. And whatever you want to do, like, you know, try to figure that out after you leave high school. That's a lot. You know, to me, it was like a lot for me to leave high school, because I was like, my friends are gone. I'm an individual. And at the time, I was really trying to figure out my sexuality too. So I kind of get that too. I still had not told anybody about me even having gay thoughts or anything like that. So I do think that, you know, there's so many elements to this question right now. I'm trying to like do all of them at the same time. I wish that I would have tried to experience my coming out in college, but I just didn't, because I was dating a girl at that time. So I think you don't have to go to college to do that, but I also would just try to like experience life in my gap year before I actually make my decision on college or not.
Easy what you got.
Right. You can definitely take the gap year. Just hold on, let me back up. From the letter, it seems like your family is very much involved in making sure that you get an education. And if that's not your path, you have to have a plan. a plan of action about what you're going to do. Because at 17, I'm going to assume that you're still living at home. So if you make the decision, because I mean, ultimately, it's up to you whether or not you're going to go to school. They can't physically force you to go to college. But at the same time, if you're not going to take that route and you're still in their house, I feel like that could cause a little bit of friction, a little bit of tension. So if you want to live your life and experiment and dabble in things that you never dealt with and like live through your thoughts and stuff, especially being open and gay and you know, being out here and being curious about the world, you're gonna have to move out.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to move out because it's going to bother you. It's going to send you through all types of emotions because I don't think they're going to, and I don't know your mom and dad, I don't know your household, but I don't think that they would be comfortable with you doing those things or experimenting, knowing that they want you to go to school. Because they're going to look at it as you're wasting time, you're wasting money, and all this other stuff. Now, you may not think that college is for you, but I would suggest just give it a try. And college looks a lot different than what it used to be. There are trade schools, there are night schools, there are colleges online. You don't have to take a full load of college when you first join. Like you can take a class here, a class there. Things are virtual now, so you can just get your assignments sent to you and you send them right on back. And you can still do the things that you want to do and still please them and still figure out if this is something that you want to do. I wouldn't just write it off right off the bat though. Like, because you have so much life to live and there's so much time to experiment different things. And if you don't like it, don't go. And if you're worried about money, there are so many financial grants that you can apply for and get. And there's so, like, honest to God, if you want, jump in my inbox. I will send you all the links that I possibly can. I work in education, so I promise you there are a slew of things that you can do to qualify for scholarships, grants, loans that you don't have to pay back. Trust me, there are ways to do it.
Or easy if you can send the links, I can post them in this because if someone else watches this, that'd be different to have that. I think that was to me what stood out was, you know, going to college and not getting a job in that field was detrimental to a lot of us. Like we didn't get a job in the field that we wanted to go to school for. So I think that's a very big concern to me that I heard through this whole thing. I also feel like, you know, trying to, you know, tell my family, I would definitely get my own place.
You're gonna have to. Like,
yeah.
If you're not going to school, you're gonna have to get your own place.
Yeah, I would definitely do that because if my family's not okay with this, I want to still be able to be free in my own space, period.
Because you live under their house, their roof.
Yeah.
That means you're still going to abide by their rules. 18, 19, 20, don't matter how old you are. You're still going to have to come into that house at a certain time. You're not going to be able to bring the people that you want to bring by. Because they're going to look and judge. They're going to. They just are. Because they're going to think that this is the reason why my baby ain't in school. This is the reason my baby wasting their time, wasting their life away. Because he over here hanging with this guy or that girl, this girl. Like, you just have to have a plan. Yeah. And like I said, you can do everything you want to do and still go to school. Like I said, just take it piece by piece. Because school does not go nowhere. School is not going anywhere.
True. Very, very true. Very true. Let's go to some of the comments really quick of what everybody else is saying, which I think are some very good comments to begin with. LaBelle says, let's see, you don't need college to have a career, but it can't hurt. If it's not for you, get out on your own.
Yeah.
Luche, who is a big advocate for life in general, but school as well, baby, get you a job until you figure out what you want to do. But give yourself a timeline and have a plan. Also, independence ain't free. So if you want to live your good gay life, you got to get your own. Just don't get caught up and set yourself up for failure out of the gate.
Absolutely.
And Luche also agrees, so debonair. You learn so much about yourself going to college, and oftentimes you meet so many amazing people who will help you grow no matter what you decide to do after.
Mm-hmm.
So I
And
think, oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, because I know, and I don't know if your ethnicity, but if you are Black, a lot of times education in schools and colleges put heavy on us, because a lot of the times I don't. You're 17, but I'm 34. Around my age is when, like, a lot of our parents, grandparents, great grandparents, they didn't go to school. Like typically, it may have not been an option for them. It may have not been something that was pushed upon them because their fathers and mothers and grandparents and education was hard for us to come up with. So a lot of time I know for me, it was big going to school, going to college, making sure I do well, because they want their baby to walk across that stage. So you got to understand where your parents are coming from. Like I said, I don't know their educational background, but if you're the first one to do it, that weighs a lot.
But I also want to say this, though. It depends on what you want to do for real, what your career pathway is going to be, because I would never want my financial situation to be because they want me to do it versus something that I can do without having that degree. A lot of people may not agree with that, but I don't feel like everything that you want to do in life, you have to go to college for. They have trade schools. They have different things you could do where you don't have to really go to school for that stuff. And a lot of us are dealing with student loan debt right now. You know what I'm saying? And most people don't even finish school. There's a lot of people who has finished school. They don't work in that field of work at all. So to me, it's like, I would want you to kind of study what you do want to do and find out how many people are successful at getting a job in that field. And what are the alternative ways of getting around that if that's not something that works out? Because you guys have those options now. We didn't really have that growing up. Our thing was we got to go to school and get a degree, this, and this. And so that's what we did. But, now it's different. And, I don't want you to feel like you're obligated to go to school if you don't really have to go to school for something that you and build up debt for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we've all given some very valid points, and I hope that this writer takes them into consideration. Obviously, your family, how they're going to respond. So deal with it accordingly. I think we all have kind of echoed the sentiment of just have a plan. If you're not going to go to college, have a plan of what you want to do with your life, because I think a lot of us have been down that road where we kind of just lived life with no direction and no purpose, or seemingly no purpose. But last two comments. Mitch says, just think of a master plan and you'll get where you'll need to be. And yes, get your own place. Absolutely.
Yeah,
please. Vocals New York says, I will say you learn a lot about yourself and how to navigate life from college experience. I do believe college isn't for everyone, but it's imperative to have a plan, as we have said. And lastly, Lavelle says, I degree in performing arts. All I learned didn't get me jobs. Experience did. So
that's why I was saying that. So it's like, it depends on what you want to do. Like when you're thinking about this, like if you want to be an entertainer, sometimes it's just not the thing. You don't have to do that. But you also have the personality to do those things. So it just depends on what it's like. Study. If you take your gap year, study what people are doing in the field of work that you want.
Find your gifts.
Yeah. But study.
Find your God-given gifts.
But also study with the people who are doing what you're trying to do, what they did to get where they're going or where they're at. That way you understand how to navigate whether college is even what it is. Because I'm going to tell you now, I wish I would have never spent money going to college because I did want to get into broadcasting. But honestly, I didn't need that degree for that because they are looking for the experience, period. And all the money that I spent for that never got me a job. But it depends on what you want to do. So, I mean, you can't be a doctor and not go to school. Like, that don't happen. So it depends on what you want to do. Seriously.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Thank you again to the writer for the letter. We appreciate it. And see, we talk about more than just dicks and ass on this show. And so Debbie, you want to close us out?
Absolutely. So guys, first of all, make sure you check us out on althpodcast.com. Also, if you're going to follow us on Twitter, it's LTH Podcast. Affairs at the Heart on Facebook and The Affairs at the Heart on Instagram. If you guys have any questions you want us to answer, please go on to althpodcast.com and let us know. We answer questions every time. I think that's pretty much it.
All right.
So don't forget to make sure you like, subscribe, turn notifications on the YouTube channel. If you're on Facebook, please like that channel. People have been doing that more often, so I've been saying that too. Like that Facebook page, and please write a review on that Facebook page because it does make a difference for us. Also, and that's it.
Yes, make sure you turn on your notifications so you know when we're on, so that people be like, remind me. No, turn their notifications on. Next week, we have guests. Next week, we have Minority Report podcast will be our guest. The aunties will be here Thursday, 8:00. You don't want to miss it. They are going to have a good time, and we need all of our heartbeats to show up and support us doing a mashup episode with the aunties of the Minority Report. If you don't follow them, please, once we end ours, go over to their page, like, share, subscribe their page so that you can get their support them as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you're not familiar with the aunties of Minority Report, it's going to be a TIME time. You don't want to miss it. So we'll see you next week, 8:00.
Also, I do have something else too. On the 6th, we're going to have another guest, which is from New Radio. What's the guy's name? I just had him up on my phone too. Well, check out the New Radio podcast. It's on all podcast platforms. I can't think of the guy's name now. I just was looking at it and it's not on my phone.
Yeah.
It was just like right here on my phone. Oh, his name is Kenny. You can follow him on Instagram at Kenny Heflin. His last name is Heflin. So that'll be the week after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had it up on my phone, but I cannot find it when I posted it. But yeah. So the week after that, we'll do that too as well. But I told Dwayne that we do have more guests on the podcast, so I'm trying to book more people per podcast. So yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of guests next week because I'm bringing some people.
Next week?
I'm bringing something as a little surprise next week.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, all right. We're gonna have surprise.
Wait, before we go, Boy Drama Season 5 is out now, and the first episode was just released on the 21st. So go ahead, check that out, friends.
Boy Drama.
Yes, Boy Drama.
All right.
That's the show that you're on, right?
Yes, it is. It's back for a 5th season. The people were asking for it. It's been a few years since the
well, make sure you send me the links so I can post it and the links on the YouTube channel too, so we can so people can get to it.
Meech ain't shit.
All right, folks. If that is that on that, we will see you all next week.
Yes, Meech is single, by the way. Yes.
We will see you all next week, Thursday at 8:00. Same time, same place. Thank you for hanging in with us. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Make sure you go to althpodcast.com. We love you. We'll see you next time.
Yes, indeed. See y'all. Send Meech nudes.